When it comes to choosing someone to look after your children, who better than women with decades of experience in caregiving? So-called granny nannies are on the rise here in Australia as retired mothers return to the workforce to make ends meet.
There's no shortage of demand, with parents turning away from traditional childcare centres in search of more flexibility. But cost remains a big barrier, as Sam Butler explains.
When Marie O'Grady retired after running 2 shops selling educational toys and costumes for children, life was suddenly a lot quieter than what she was used to. The 63-year-old knew she had more to give, so she became a nanny and now spends most Friday afternoons looking after Willem and Lucas.
It's extremely fulfilling, especially when you see them from a young little age and watch them grow and become little people. You're almost like a little bit of an adopted grandma, because the families that I help out, they don't have families here. Their families are living elsewhere around the world, so they don't have any interaction with an older person as a grandma or a grandpa. So you become that person, really.
For Mum Geraldine, Marie is far more than just an extra set of hands to help with the juggle of work and parenting. She's a source of wisdom.
She just had a really nice vibrance about her, and yeah, we spoke on the phone and we seemed to connect, and that's how it happened. She's given me a lot of security as well, like when I was anxious in the beginning about a lot of parenting things with my kids having meltdowns, she was always really reassuring. It's been great just having someone who is a bit more mature, a little bit more grounded and patient with my kids, and I think they need that, and someone who makes them feel safe. So just, it's been a really great experience, and I think I hit the jackpot with getting Marie.
The pair connected through an online platform called Nanny Granny, which helps experienced carers find families who are looking for options outside the formal daycare setting. They've seen a huge surge in mature age women signing up as families turn away from traditional childcare centres. This year alone, the number of parents searching for a caregiver has increased by 125%, and there's been a 75% jump in the number of nanny grannies looking for work.
There's no doubt that what's going on in childcare centres in Victoria, but more broadly across Australia, has got to be part of it. I think that parents are questioning how they feel about the places where they put their kids, and we're hearing the stories unfold and some of the news about just the sheer volume of for-profit focus of the sector, which just feels at odds with caregiving. I think that's driving some of it.
On top of that, cost of living pressures are forcing many retired women to re-enter the workforce.
Women 55 plus, as we've all heard, are our most at-risk group of Australians falling into homelessness, so that's a really big problem. They retire with significantly less super than their male counterparts, most of them having spent a lifetime in unpaid caregiving.
Others are simply looking for a renewed sense of purpose later in life. Mum of 3, Rochelle O'Toole, still runs her own business and nannies on the side.
Is that you? It's nice to have some money coming in that isn't generated by me having to run my own business. So this is like a guaranteed every week. I think people come back to that point, same as I do, when your kids have grown up and you think, you miss it. You miss that pure that joy and that playfulness and that part of life.
We know the negative impact of isolation and loneliness, particularly for older people. So I think for these women who've spent their lives in serving their communities and their families, to be able to continue to do that and to remain connected and engaged, but to be financially compensated for that is a big step forward.
For many working parents, nannies provide greater flexibility than the traditional childcare model. But in most cases, the federal government's childcare subsidy can't be used to help parents cover the cost. So is it time for a rethink of the scheme to better support the changing needs of families?
Jen Fleming is behind a petition calling for the government to allow the subsidy to be used for in-home childcare.
We talk a lot about a village. I think it's time that that village is supported through an expansion of the childcare subsidy for those nanny grannies who are still working and want to use their experience and their lived experience of being parents themselves to look after children. I think it's an incredible initiative, and we really hope that the Albanese government will get behind it.
We reached out to the Minister for Early Childhood Education today, whose office reiterated the childcare subsidy is intended to help cover the cost of childcare in regulated settings. Critics say it's an outdated approach which ignores the decades of caregiving experience nannies have to offer. And it leaves mothers who can't or don't want to send their children to childcare unable to return to work.
Those families deserve to have choice over childcare because we live in a time where both parents usually have to work. They've got to pay a mortgage, they've got to pay rent, they have to get food on the table. And at the moment, they're faced with an either-or situation in a one-size-fits-all system that doesn't work for their family.